Yo, yo.
Yo.
Welcome back to the Mark Our Words podcast, the official podcast of YouTube. What's good with you, Chen?
Hey, life is good, man. Life is beautiful. Life is gorgeous. Life is marvelous, man.
What's marvelous about life?
I went to this new Jamaican spot down the street.
Well, I'm about to say, last episode you went to Jamaican cooking class.
I did go to the Jamaican cooking
And
class.
now,
but that was trash. This was also not that
I got a
great.
question. Since you brought this up.
Yes, sir.
Because I know you. I know you're not Jamaican. Because,
Ross.
the locks,
That's why you know I'm not Jamaican?
Well, I know you're not Jamaican because I know you, but I'm just saying,
Okay.
some can make that. Oh, you got dreadlocks.
Yeah.
What's up, Mon?
Okay.
Hey, Mon.
I'm not your mom.
No, hey, Mon. Bad Mon. Bad man.
Sound like you saying some type of
Yeah,
Digimon.
I sound terrible. But I don't I don't hear you eating a lot of Nigerian food more than and you love Nigerian food.
I love Nigerian food.
But you always eat Jamaican food, go to Jamaican classes. Like what's is there a close
No.
Okay, I'm about to say because I really never tried Nigerian food, which is kind of crazy. You told me to try.
Yeah.
But I was like, no. Once you show me once you try to say the correct name of it, it's like you eat it out of a cup. It's like beans in a cup, or something like that. Well, that sucks.
Beans in a cup.
Because I said, what is it? And that's when y'all said it's beans. It's like beans in a cup. Like you eat it out the cup, and you just eat it like out the cup.
Huh.
This was at your house.
Let me see.
Or maybe
moi.
Or maybe I think it is more. Maybe I threw you off with the beans, but
it's like mashed up.
It's mashed up in a cup.
I'm thinking like whole beans.
No. It's like it's like in a cup, and you eat it out the cup. You don't eat it with a fork. You don't eat it with a spoon. You
could take it out the cup.
I never see you
cut
eat
it
it.
up.
I see you eat it out the cup.
I don't think I ever did.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with
Maybe
you.
I'm lying on you then. I don't know.
I used to squeeze it out the cup, and at that time I probably squeezed it out the cup and put it in the microwave. I'm not gonna put the cup in the microwave.
That makes sense. But how come you on a Jamaican wave right now? Like, what's going on?
No, I always like Caribbean food. Trinity and Jamaican probably top 2 in Caribbean. But, there's not that many Nigerian restaurants out there, so
You should open one.
I can't cook Nigerian food.
You should hire cooks.
Okay.
I'll be your first angel investor.
Okay. How much you gonna invest?
I don't want to say the number out loud in public, but
No, thank you.
I don't want to say it, but it's gonna be pretty small.
Okay. I appreciate any type of contribution.
Everybody in that restaurant gonna have forks. Okay.
That's a big contribution.
I didn't say spoons and knives, but forks for sure. I got you.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Didn't say we silverware either.
Oh, plastic? We're not washing it, so we gotta have enough for a good year.
You be good. But no, I love Jamaican food too. I love oxtails. Or just Caribbean food. I love oxtails as well. Which is and brown stew chicken and things like that.
Brown stew. Somebody told me about this new Caribbean spot I need to go to called Blue Caribbean.
Never heard of it.
Me either. They said it's better than Tasha Hong.
Ooh. But Tasha ain't the same though.
That's why.
Because I had Tasha literally recently, like within 2 months ago.
It wasn't the same.
It's not the same.
Jeez,
it's not the same.
My heart, man.
It's not the same, but you expect that because I'm sure there's a different cook and they have their way of doing things.
Yeah.
But it's not the same because I got the oxtails and it was spicy. I was like, why? Why are these oxtails spicy?
That's probably how they supposed to cook it.
Maybe, but I liked it the other way.
I ain't gonna lie. The brown stew and even the plantains, not as good as the old way.
But shout out to Tasha's though.
Tasha Hong is still good though.
Yes.
I could still eat there, but
not
as good. I gotta go to Blue Caribbean. Check that out.
But you know what I was thinking about?
What's up?
I'm really trying to become a full minimalist. A full minimalist.
I gave up on that dream.
I'm looking around your house and I'm like, yeah. You're not a minimalist.
No, I ain't. Yeah, I tried. Clothes wise, I'm still in. Shoes and everything else, books, like furniture.
You're not a minimalist when it comes to furniture.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, which is unfortunate. I need to start throwing things away.
Okay. You already know how I am. Like I feel like you should have a giveaway or throwaway haul twice a year.
That's a good one.
Twice a year. Have one like before the summer, like in June. Have one to end the year in December. Or maybe just start the year in January, But my apartment is not minimalistic either. And I think mainly because my girl lived there, but it wasn't really that minimalistic either before she moved in with me. But I was looking at like Pinterest, like things online of how to decorate my place in a minimalistic style. And I realized something. It looked bland to me. It looks
minimalism.
Like just I don't know what happened with this epiphany. But there's a way that you can decorate your place or have creativity. And creativity doesn't necessarily have to mean lack of. But I think minimalism is stifling creativity. And I'm going to use Virgil, R.I.P. to Virgil, as an example.
Okay.
When he created the Off-White brand, great brand, right? What is Off-White?
Cocaine.
Okay. Off-White is literally you take clothing, shoes, and you write Off-White on it. You put a little
those stripes
if you want on like a hoodie or things like that. Or on the shoe you put like it's not a bread tie, but like the little orange tie you put on your shoe and things like that. But like the shoe itself is not different. It's the same shoe as like it's the creative part is the minimalistic part. And I'm like, can we really credit that as being creative? Or is that literally just doing the bare minimum? And that's what I'm having a battle with right now. I want to be creative. I don't want my place to feel bare minimum with a minimalistic style. Am I wrong? Or am I off?
So when I was a kid, there was this program where you could create your own RPGs because I used to love Final Fantasy. You was like more of like a Madden.
Everything else is up RPG, basically.
Yeah, RPG, yeah.
I actually remember you playing that game on your computer.
I used to love that. Oh, the game when I was making the games.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And the one that I used to use, so this was maybe like 2007, 8, 9. The one I used to use came out in 2003. But by then they had like a 2008 one, and they had like another level after that, so a newer one. And those new ones came out with a whole bunch of different features that they didn't have for the 2003. However, what that made me do, and the reason why I love this particular version of the RPG Maker, was that you had to come up with creative ways to do something.
Really?
I think with minimalism, which is interesting, is that there's a limitation. How can you make this a livable space with only a few items? I think in that way, the creative process is produced. So you might not see all types of crazy colors and all these different furnitures. How can you fit them in? You might just see, a couple items, maybe 3, 4 items. But how do you, one, make it functional, and 2, make it beautiful? And I think it does take some type of level of creativity to do those two things with only so much, with a limitation on what you can do.
So, I don't know if I agree. because I believe that minimalism, when it comes to at least decoration of the house or even decorating a room, that can work.
Okay.
But let's say when it comes to clothes, when it comes to, because now everything is starting to look like this. I don't want to say minimalistic, but like this modern look. Like, remember when I use a perfect example. Have you ever? I know it's been a while, but you've been in the city. Like, have you ever drove by like a McDonald's?
Yeah.
And then you drove by like a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And you drove by like, I think Burger King is still the same, but like Taco Bell and McDonald's got this like this modern, I want to say minimalistic look, but this modern era look to it. It doesn't look like a place that sells Happy Meals. You get what I'm saying? It looked like real estate. Like it looked like a open house. You walk in, it's like, oh, like a mansion with that said McDonald's on it. But I would say that the old way that McDonald's used to look back in the day was creative. It didn't look nothing like anything I've ever seen before. You get what I'm saying? But now it's starting to look like, and I'm just using McDonald's as a muse, they all look the same. The Taco Bell looked like McDonald's. McDonald's looked like, Wendy's still look the same based on what I've seen. But that looked like Chick-fil-A. It's like, y'all have this, it's like it's no longer gearing towards, and I get it, maybe it's gearing more towards adults, but it's like, it's not unique in a way. It's all looking the same. Only thing different is the name on the wall. And I'm like, what happened to the creativity of it? What happened to it looking like, fresh? It's just hard for me to explain.
Yeah, I'm slightly confused. I mean, because I don't know if things were very different back in the day.
What do you mean by like very different?
Like they all kind of had the same wacky feel to it.
It's wacky feel.
They all had like a.
But they didn't look the same.
What do you mean they didn't look the same?
They didn't look the same. Like literally, McDonald's looked like Taco Bell. Like they look is almost identical.
I don't know if that's true.
I can.
What do you mean they?
Like there's a, you know how like with the wacky look. That's a unique look to it, right? It's a creative look, in my opinion, right? But if you, it would help if you seen a picture of it.
Yeah.
But they all, well, no, I mean like you see a picture. Okay. I'm not talking about the podcast people, because I'm sure they can relate.
Okay.
But if you're actually seeing, you like these places look the same. Like everything got this modern minimalistic look to it. To it, even like the way they staff people is minimalistic. Like now, granted, that's like robots take it over and things like that. But you go in, you don't even go to the desk to like put in your order. You go to the little board, and then you pick up your order at the desk and things like that. And I'm just like, dang, even minimalism or even robots or whatever, they taking jobs away from people. Like, oh, we going too like yo.
Old man Chris here.
I feel like we need to push back on minimalism just a little bit.
I don't know if it's so like okay, let's take the fast food and then we can even talk about other industries. Okay. But back in the day, I feel like it was the same blueprint. Instead of you had like a building and then you might have what your number one seller is. So if you sell burgers, you might have like a burger on top of your building, or you might have a taco on top of your building, or you might have like a milkshake on top of your building. Like they had like, I felt like that was a blueprint, and then everybody had the little hats. I'm talking about 90s now, but everybody had the little hats. They had the little uniform. And you had to go up to the cash register, and then you might have like seats, and then you might have like a little kid playground place. I feel like that was the blueprint for all fast food places. I don't remember them being that much different. They might have different color waves, but it was all kind of the same blueprint.
Different. It felt different because I feel like what you're mainly describing is McDonald's. Because back in the day, all I can remember back in the day was McDonald's. But I just feel like with this minimalistic approach, right? Everybody's talking about being a minimalism. Everybody talking about being a minimalist, rather. Excuse me. And I'm like, that's fine. When I tried it, I was like, this is cool. But I do appreciate minimalism to the point of it does make me more intentional of what I want and what I buy, right? But I don't think to be a full minimalist, I don't think you can be fully creative and be a minimalist. I don't think those two go hand in hand. I don't think so. I think you could look at it and be like, we took some things off and like, you know, things are empty and whatever, but I don't know if you can do both. Because I don't want to discredit someone who uses a lot of things and able to make some or create some or do something. And be like, well, that's just as creative.
Do you think the Apple products are creative? Just on design level?
No.
Interesting. Why is that? You don't think it's a beautiful laptop compared to other laptops?
Compared to other laptops, I've seen other beautiful laptops. It's very simple.
I'm asking, is it beautiful compared to other laptops?
I personally don't think it's beautiful.
Okay. What laptop you put over that laptop as far as beautiful?
I like some Chromebooks that looks better than.
They copied the Apple. They copied exactly the Apple wave, where it's like black on top and then silver on the bottom.
But I feel like that
Chromebooks look just like
but
Apple
I'm saying,
products.
but that's my
and
point.
And they came out with it.
But that's my point.
But you just said.
But hold on. But that's my point, though.
Okay, all right.
Like you're proving my point 100%.
What's your point?
Besides copying, like the blueprint or whatever, why don't you be creative and create your own look?
But you talking about two different things. Everybody's being the same, or is everybody being minimal? Because Apple was the first one to be minimal.
Okay.
But their design is beautiful. And now you looking at everybody that you talking about Chromebook look better than them. They copy the same the same design. And it doesn't look as good as that. It doesn't evaporate as good. It doesn't look as good. The OS is simple. That's why the OS is probably, even the iPhone. I remember when y'all was on Android wave. They could do so many things.
I love my Android, though.
Yeah, my phone, you never been back.
My phone didn't die for 2 days straight without it being on the charger.
You never went back. But the Android phone, it broke. It does so much. It has so many things. You could customize so many ways and do all this. And you could be as creative as you want. But there's something, there's a beauty in making something complex and simplifying that. And there's a genius in that, and there's a beauty in that. And I think those two things together, beauty and genius, equals creativity. Like nobody looks at a creative person and doesn't think in some way, oh, this person has some type of genius in them. And somebody doesn't look at a creative person and say, oh, this person doesn't know how to make beautiful things. They know how to do things that other people can't do in a beautiful way. I think that's what minimalism is doing. Because what minimalism, before minimalism, you could just be as wacky, as crazy as you can, and people would think, oh, I never saw anything like that. Okay. But yeah, because they don't have any limitations. They just doing anything. But there's something to, oh, you thought outside of the box when the box is like this. When you don't have a box, yeah, you could go anywhere. If somebody said, hey, just make up a word. Yeah, they're cool. Anybody, that's a word.
No, I don't think that's a word.
Well, I'm saying you can just make up a word. Now, you say make up a word that sounds like this or rhymes with that, or rhyme a word that rhymes with this. And that's your limitation. Have a word that actually exists that rhymes with that. And you start to see people who could rhyme words in creative ways, and now that's the little genius. Because there's a limitation, so there's a boundary involved. And I think that's what minimalism is doing. It's like, we're not just trying to do everything and anything. We're trying to do something that's simple, that gets to the point, that is functional, but also beautiful. And I think that's creative in itself. Now, it might not look drastically different because it's hard to do that. So what is happening is like, I'm not a genius. I'm not going to work hard to try and build outside this. So I'm going to just copy your design. Because you already got it. You look good.
But how can I call you a creative?
You're not. You're a copier.
So is that what minimalism is?
No. Minimalism is being creative and doing something in a way that hasn't been done before. I mean, no, that's not what minimalism is. Sorry. I was just arguing.
I was about to just...
Minimalism is just being as minimal as you can.
Yeah.
That's what minimalism is. But creativity has nothing to do with minimalism.
Okay, and maybe that's what I'm trying to debate is that I don't know if you can be minimalistic and creative.
But you can. People have.
I don't know. Like, and think about it, I like Off-White. I really do like Off-White because I'm like...
Wait, how you like Off-White?
I like Off-White because... Not even for how it looked, but it's almost like an aha moment for me, right? I'm like, why did nobody think of this? You get what I'm saying? Like, it almost was too simple.
But that is the creativity in that. But the thing is, because it's simple, other people gonna copy it, and this is why you're thinking like there's no creativity in there.
So basically, I'm looking at the copiers.
You looking at the original, like, oh, I respect that. How do you think about it? It's right there in front of everybody's eyes, and you're like, damn, I respect that. But then he's like, oh, he looks just like, oh, he looks just like, oh, he looks. But everybody's looking at this design, saying like, I'm not about to put in the hard work to find something else.
Potentially, yeah.
I'm not gonna put in the hard work to find something else when this already works. I'm gonna just copy this. And I think that's where you're getting at. Like, because this already works, I'm gonna just copy this. You know how many shoes look like Yeezys? Not the ones from Nikes.
Okay, I'm about to say.
I'm not talking about the ones without the laces. The ones with like the foam, the little foam stuff.
Yeah.
All the shoes got that with the air. You know, all the shoes look like Yeezys. I'm like, what is this? Where is all like? What's that knitting stuff?
Yeah, it kind of like crochet, but but really it's not.
But it was the Yeezys that did that first, and then every shoe, Nike, even Under Armour, all these other brands started doing what they were doing, and so now you're thinking like, yeah, creative is dead because everybody's doing the same thing. But you can't, you know.
I can't penalize the one who actually
created that.
So how do people get back to being creative besides copying off of somebody?
But people always copy. People always copy. That's not new.
Then how can you
I feel like you now noticing more because it's so many. It's minimal.
What do you mean? Like
before, if there's a lot of things going on, you're not like, oh, this looks just like that one. Even though they might just change the color here and there. This time, you can't really change too much.
Yeah.
Because you change too much, you messed up the whole design. It's like if everything fits perfectly, because there's not much you could do in this space. You only got like 4 items. There's not much you could really do in this space. If you move something, it messes up. Yeah, unless you do something very...
I'm just going to add a camera in the back.
Yeah, so it's... but it's like you mess things up too much. So there's not much you could do. Versus back in the day, it was so much going on. You just add one thing. So yeah, just add that. It makes it look.
But my thing is that part of being an artist or part of being creative as an artist or just in general of like. So what if it changes it? Like if you are a creative or if you are an artist or if you are whatever, even a content creator, even if I were to take it to YouTube and things like that, right? The whole point is, even if you change, let's say that major thing that changes the whole thing, now it's more yours than it's like theirs. Like that makes you like you get out of that copycat range if you change most of it. If like you get what I'm saying?
But it's hard to do that when it's minimal. It's hard to do.
Then don't be minimal.
How? So what you want to do instead? Be a lot?
I'm just saying, like, just because minimal may be the wave, and it may have its benefits, which it does, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean that a lot is the, like, you know, the enemy of, I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't accomplish the same creative goal as someone who's minimal. They just choose to use 2 colors compared to you who want to use 9. You can still create something original and amazing using 9 colors instead of thinking I only got to use 2.
You could.
Well, it gonna be harder.
I did say it was hard to do minimal, but it's also hard to do a lot too.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta make sure that people also like those things too as well. Like, if you have a lot of colors, not every color matches, unless you want to do like a rainbow joint.
Maybe.
Not every color matches. So it's like, if you only have to worry about 2 colors or 3 colors, that's one thing. Yeah, now you only limited to 2, 3 colors. You got to make sure that works in it.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you got to worry about non-colors, yeah, you could do a lot more. But then you also have to worry about non-colors being complementary with each other. So it's a give and take.
But if you get it all to work together, that'd be a beautiful thing. It'd be a beautiful thing. Just think of it like this, right? And with me, I always take things back to music because I play music, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you give me an orchestra, right, instead of just me and like a drummer, right, what I can do with that orchestra can probably be amazing. You know what I'm saying? To your point, probably. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
Probably. But because I know music, you get what I'm saying? I'll probably have a better chance of directing and actually doing what I want to do. Besides playing all the parts, I give some parts to the orchestra and things like that. But I'm like, I just feel like if there is a chance to do more or to have more, like, I just feel like people shouldn't be so quick to just be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good with less.
I remember there was one time, and since we were talking about music, I remember one time, I'm not going to say his name, but the person that was in charge of the music ministry at the church, and I don't know if it was you or the other drummers, but they was like, stop playing the cymbals every time. Stop doing too much. Just be in the pocket for a little bit. There was one who was a little bit younger, so it might have been you. But it was like, just play the song for what it is, and then you could pop out here and there. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes if you give somebody too much leeway, especially if they're not trained first in like the simplicity and the foundation of things, they might just go too wild with it. Now, is there anything wrong? No, maybe sometimes, people start liking it, like Basquiat. He was a little wild with it. I don't know if he knows how to really... Hey, don't crucify me. I don't know if he really knows how to draw. I never seen that man really draw like a real painting.
But I ain't gonna hold you, but some paintings I'll be like, that's kind of lit, though.
It's lit, but I'm like, can you really, like, can you paint me? Or you gonna make me into a stick figure? So I don't know, but I'm saying, like, if you don't really have that foundation, how can you really know? Like, if you can't do 2 colors, if you can't do 3 colors, how can you be creative with 9 colors? Like, if you don't know how with clothes, you don't know how to layer clothes. Like, if you don't know how to put, like, if I gave you 5 items of clothes and you can't make 10 different outfits with that, how can I trust you to do 100 outfits with 100 layers? Yeah. So it's like, I think there's an exercise that is had, and most people, I think, feel like the more they add, the more creative they are. But where it's not that. You need to understand the foundation.
But there's a danger to you staying with minimal materials or stay with a minimalistic life or a minimalistic mindset. Because if you get used to, there's one thing of learning the foundations with the intent to do more. Besides being stuck with just, let's say, 2 colors, and now you only know how to draw those 2 colors because you never introduce more. So there's a difference between, okay, yeah, I'm learning how to draw with two crayons, black and brown. Any black and brown painting I can draw. But if I introduce green into that, then you're kind of like, I don't want you to be lost. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, yes, I understand the whole idea of, okay, yeah, there's a painting or this, you could do less, and if you could do more with less, yes. But what if you actually grow and you actually, like, can grow from being less? Like, I understand that you can do less. You can do more with less if all you want to do is stay small or stay with less. But what if there is room for growth and you got to do more? Then you only gonna know how to do the few things unless you actually go with the intention of, like, okay, I need to introduce more colors, or I need to introduce more things, or I need to be a little less minimalistic in this avenue or something like that.
Yes. But the thing is like, So I guess my point is, if you're creative with being a minimalist, you're gonna be creative with being a lot.
I don't think so.
No, okay, sorry. Let me actually restate that. You're not going to be creative with a lot if you can't be creative with a minimal or a small amount of stuff.
I agree with that.
So the thing is like, if people are not creative with minimalist stuff now, they was never creative in the first place.
Oh man,
it was never creative in the first place. Because how can you not take? Because it's like, how do you take a small? Now it does take a little bit more thought and more process to do different things. But if you can't take 3 things and change it into a new thing that works, that people like, and I don't know, like it's a subjective thing. It's so subjective.
People like that. There was a painting of I think a banana taped to a canvas that sold for tens of thousands of dollars. A real banana that was taped to a canvas. Okay. Art is a scam.
But then you have like real artists that could paint. I saw this one joint where this man took a ball from a football player, soccer player, and he was he painted a kid standing on a ball with the ball upside down. So the paint was upside down. He was painting it, and then he flipped it around. It was a kid standing on a ball.
That's
like,
lit.
This man should make thousands, millions.
This guy might
$10 million of dollars.
This guy might be like Magic Kid, like you know what I'm saying? Like,
and he has a whole bunch of YouTube videos where he's just doing like he's painting with his elbow, he's painting with his thumb. It's weird. Anyways, but the thing is like so my thing is not like, I don't think it was ever a question of, is minimalism killing creativity? I think minimalism is exposing how uncreative people are. And so before, you could change 1 or 2 things and it would still work because you're copying somebody else's work and then you changing a couple of things. Like if you look at the old websites, all the websites were just busy.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it wasn't beautiful. It wasn't well designed. You couldn't really find a lot of things.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at Google, to me, the Google search is probably one of the best. Okay, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a minute.
Probably
one of the best homepage.
Because it's nothing but a search bar.
It's the search bar and Google with maybe something like dual, like Google, like the G's like a man, the O's a I, you know. And so it's like there's that simplicity of like, oh, you can search. It literally says, it doesn't literally say that, but through the design, it's saying, hey, whatever you want to ask me, I'm here. I'm an open canvas. That's what that design and that minimalism of that design is saying. Versus if it is like, hey, you search me here. You could do here, you could do that, you could do that. It's like, damn, like
one. You want sports on the side?
Yeah, you can search sports here. You can search music there. You can search, and if they had like 20 different search bars, the lack of minimalism, it shows the lack of creativity to display your what you want to do. And so that's my thing. I do hear what you're saying, but I think it's more of people just copying other people versus minimalism being the issue.
Do you think it's harder to be to be a minimalist and being creative as a minimalist because of the limitations that you may put on yourself?
It's hard to iterate, yeah. Okay. So if you look at somebody else's
so basically
work,
be original, basically.
Yeah. So you look at somebody else's work and you're like, oh, I'm getting inspiration from that. Well, if there's only 3 colors, let's say there's only 3 spots.
Okay.
It might just be, 5 other ways to arrange those 3 spots, right? So versus like if you have 9 spots, it might be 9 factorial minus 1 other spots to arrange those spots. Hey, y'all do the math on that.
They not gonna do the math. Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like sometimes the Google homepage was a great example because I don't know, maybe because Google is like number 1, that maybe if Yahoo was number 1 or still number 1 or like whatever it was,
Bing.
Bing, maybe we'd be like, Bing, oh, I like how they got the skyscraper in the back and things like that. Like, maybe it depends who's number one at the time that we'd be like. But I do look forward to sometimes when there's like a special day, like Earth Day or something like that. Google put like a little Earth design with the Google letters and things like that. But they never add anything extra to the intent of the homepage and things like that. Because many times they know that you didn't come to search the homepage.
And the homepage kind of feels like welcome to the internet.
That is true.
It's like, we're not going to show you anything. This is like, welcome. But it's really just a search bar. Like, how do you want to enter the internet? Where you want to go to? We will take you.
Anywhere.
That's what the Google homepage is saying.
That's kind of powerful in a way. If you were to
minimalism.
But what if you was to talk to the creator? He'd just be like, "Yeah,
trust me.
Google
has too much money to."
No, I'm saying, what if he was to say, like, I really couldn't think of nothing. I really wanted to create something, but I couldn't think of nothing. So I just put a search bar up there. Like, I just couldn't.
Yeah, maybe. That's fair, but I doubt after all these years Google would have.
Yeah, I'm about to say they have money now, so they if they wanted to do it however they wanted to do it, they could do it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe minimalism. There is some creativity in minimalism and things like that. I don't know. Sometimes I think I miss, quote unquote, a lot. Seeing somebody juggle 9 balls or whatever. Pause. You know what I mean? Like, I understand. But I'm just saying, like, you have a juggler. You have a juggler with 1 ball. Like, yo, that's boring. You know what I'm saying? But he got like 10 of them. You're like, dang, man, you pretty good. Spinning 10 plates or whatever. It's like.
But if he can't do 1 ball, then how are you going to do 9?
But are you a juggler if you only got 1 ball?
If you can't throw and catch 1 ball, I'm like, bro, you don't even try the 9 balls. And you saying that a lot of people can't throw and catch 1 ball, so it's like,
we'll see. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. This was just something short, something to get us to the next episode. It was just something on my mind with minimalism. But y'all be good out there. Y'all be safe, man. Blessings.